Santiago de Compostella was one of the biggest surprises of our entire trip through Spain. We spent 6 days here with our kids as a part of our second big Spanish adventure, and honestly, before planning this trip, I had barely even heard of it. I knew people walked here on the Camino de Santiago, but I had no idea just how important this city is. Millions of pilgrims have been making this journey for over 1,000 years, all to reach one place. And we happened to arrive during the city's biggest celebration of the year, the Fiesta del Apostol. So here are our 5 favorite places we visited, the delicious food we ate along the way, and why visiting Santiago in late July turned out to be perfect. Our very first stop after dropping off our bags was Praza de Obradoiro, the most famous square in Santiago. This is the finish line for the Camino de Santiago, one of the world's oldest pilgrimage routes. To earn an official Compostela certificate, pilgrims must walk at least 100 kilometers, but many here had walked for far more than that, 500, 800, even over 1,000 kilometers from their countries all across Europe. Watching people arrive was surprisingly emotional. Some laughed, some cried, others simply sat down in silence after weeks of walking. We ended up visiting this square every single day. It's easily one of the best people-watching spots we've ever experienced. After all that sightseeing, we needed food fast. Most restaurants were closing for the afternoon, so we grabbed pizza at Pizzeria L'Incontro, and honestly, it hit the spot. What really made us fall in love with Santiago wasn't just the cathedral, it was the streets surrounding it. The entire old town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and much of it is closed to regular vehicle traffic. That means you can wander safely through medieval streets that don't seem to have changed much. Every corner seemed to reveal another hidden square, another stone archway, or another street musician. It never felt crowded, even though thousands of visitors were exploring alongside us. One lunch that completely surprised us was udon, an Asian noodle restaurant right in the middle of the historic center. It wasn't traditional Galician food, but after weeks of traveling, it was exactly what we needed. One thing we didn't expect was just how green Santiago is. Outside the old city walls are several beautiful parks, and over 6 days we managed to visit 3 of the biggest. Parque Experimental de Flores, Parque de San Domingos de Bonaval, and Parque de Alameda. But Alameda quickly became our favorite. We found ourselves coming back almost every day. There are walking trails, fountains, statues, shaded gardens, and one of the city's best panoramic views of the cathedral towers. Northern Spain is noticeably cooler than Madrid or southern Spain, but July afternoons can still be warm enough to justify stopping for gelato. Our favorite? Cuore de Gelato. Our kids usually aren't very excited about local markets, but we are. Mercado De Abastos has been Santiago's main market for generations and is filled with fresh Galician seafood, local cheeses, fruit, vegetables, and specialty products. There's also a busy cafeteria where locals and visitors gather throughout the day. We had kind of hoped to eat at one of the Michelin-starred restaurants just across the street, but since we're absolutely terrible at making reservations, we ended up at O Piorno instead. And honestly, no regrets. We shared garlic shrimp, Galician octopus, croquettes, fries, plenty of bread to soak up every last bit of sauce. Oddly enough, our favorite place in Santiago wasn't the most famous. It was Praza De Mazarelos. Almost every day we'd find ourselves wandering back here. It's a peaceful square lined with cafes and restaurants, but what really made it special was the atmosphere. Local families gathered here every evening, kids kicking a ball together while parents relaxed over drinks. For us, this became our little neighborhood away from home. Over 6 days, we managed to try nearly every restaurant around the square. There were plenty of great local tapas, but our favorite was Cebuya. Fantastic sushi and amazing noodles. The main reason we timed our visit for late July was to experience the Fiestas del Apostol. Every year around the 25th, Santiago celebrates St. James. The festival combines centuries-old traditions with huge modern celebrations, and my favorite part, most of it's completely free. Throughout the week, we watched live concerts in the city squares, including an incredible performance by the Galician Orchestra that filled the historic center with music. We also saw the traditional gigantes y cabezudos, the famous giant figures and oversized paper mache heads that have been entertaining Spanish festival crowds for generations. Watching them dance through the streets while kids chased after them was one of the highlights for our family. Then on the night of the 24th came the grand finale. Thousands of people packed Praza de Obradoiro for one of the most spectacular fireworks displays we'd ever seen. We actually watched it from the Parque de San Domingos de Bonneval. The city provided an unforgettable backdrop, and for nearly a half an hour the sky above Santiago lit up with color. Santiago de Compostella turned out to be so much more than just the end of the Camino. It's a city filled with history, incredible food, beautiful parks, welcoming people, and if you can visit during the Fiesta Del Apostol, you'll experience one of Spain's most memorable summer festivals. If you're planning a trip through northern Spain, give yourself a few days here. You won't regret it. We're already planning our family Camino. We have 6 more stops on our trip through northern Spain. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the action. For now, I'll leave with some extra footage from the fiestas, and I'll see you next time.